than everybody else. They all got excited and started readying up. So I am here in time. We're just gonna have to wait for the guys just to quickly get their setups all sorted out, and then we shall go racing. So we're just still waiting on a couple of people, but the timer is almost out, so people need to start getting themselves dealing with the setups and that, and then we shall be racing. So just gotta check. Yep, my volume's down on my iPad. I didn't want you to suddenly hit me twice. I mean, don't want to hear me once, never mind twice. Still waiting, no timer yet. So hopefully all is good and well. I'm just taking a minute or two just for the guys to deal with the fuel loads and the setups that they want to run with and that sort of stuff before we get going. Unfortunately, this is one of those things that's just slow. You have to just kind of wait for the guys to sort themselves out. Unfortunately, on comms you've actually got no idea what's actually going on until the timer starts. So there it is, talking of the timer, you must have heard me. It's like it was waiting for me to talk about it, or complain about it, one of the two. So let's just right, so the guys are just going to go out on their formation lap, so let's see what people are thinking of tyres. So 3 are starting on the mediums then, and everybody else is on the softs. So there's 3 mediums, Grimmy, A. Riley and Blunchum, so both Ferraris then starting on the mediums. Would think perhaps there'd be a little bit of difference between the two, and just trying to offset their own tyre strategies so as they don't cross each other in the pits, because the last thing you'll want is a double stack. There's nothing worse than double stacking at all. But we do have Mr. JC starting at the front then, with Elite Hand on the front row with him, Connor and Grimmy on the second row, Ryan and Oppie lie on the third row, A. Riley and Blunchum on the fourth row, and then Joseph and Lewis on the fifth row, rounding out the top 10. And no Jimmo. So we have lost 2 drivers, but we have gained 1. So we lost Sir Jake, unfortunately due to the Americans changing their clocks earlier than us in the UK. He wasn't able to finish due to prior commitments in his personal life. Not sure where Jim has gone, but we have got Battlesea Mini come to play, who's decided to jump into the Mercedes alongside Connor. So everybody's nice and bunched up, so there shouldn't be much of a delay waiting for people to get themselves onto the grid. In the sprint race we did have to wait for a couple of stragglers, but not this time. This time we're all nice and bunched up, ready to go. and I cannot see the lights. There we go. And lights out as Mr. JC gets himself a drive-through for jump start. This is just going to cost him his P1 position. That's not a good start there. Not at all, but let's see how we get around turn 1. This time out it was nice and clean in the sprint race. Can we go for it again? I think there was a couple of cars gone wide there, but I didn't see any actual contact. So maybe just a couple of people out braking themselves into turn 1 there. So there's still a few cars just leaning off track. Little battle going on there between Hound and Ryan. Looks like Ryan's come out on top as well, though Hound's not giving up that position. He's still got the inside line. Now he does, now he's conceded it, so. And that is Ryan off track. So that wing loss, I was trying to tell him I pressed the wrong button. I think he might have lost his front wing. He has, he's completely lost his front wing, and now we've also got Connor going the wrong way as well. As he looks like he's lost his wing as well. So there's going to be a couple of very, very early pit stops here, and we have a VSC. That is probably for built debris on the track, because there is 2 cars now with no front wing. And because of that VSC, I don't think Mr. JC could take that drive-through, even if he wanted to take it, as Wolves is in as well. Maybe he had wing damage, I didn't want to say. He's still got a wing connected. As he's now double stacked behind his teammate as well. So that is not the start either of these guys would have wanted. Yeah, and that is a wing change going on there for Wolsey as well. So we are still under VSC, so nobody's yet changing positions. Eli's trying to stay nice and close, but these guys have just got to watch the delta. The last thing I want is another drive-through penalty for anyone. Least of all Mr. JC, who's already got one. He doesn't want a second one to take, so he wants to keep that delta nice and green. As we do get a drive-through, Eli and Wolsey both got drive-throughs there. I think it was just the 2 of them. They were the only 2 who got penalties, because Mr. JC, of course, already had a drive-through, so those 2 front ones will probably want to take them pretty sharpish. Get them out the way and get on with your race. There we go, both of the 2 leaders then dropped into their drive-throughs. And that now promotes Grimmy to the lead of the race. With Elite Hound in P2 and Joseph, who looks like he's trying to overtake. I think he just did, as I was trying to drop down there. It is close between the 2, and this is going to come down to braking. As Hound does manage to keep the position, so that was well controlled braking from both of them there, not to outbrake each other. As Mr. JC appears to still have a penalty, so I wonder if he picked up. He does, he's got a second drive-through then, so he must have picked up a drive-through as well at the safety car VSC restart, so he's got to take another drive-through. And that's Wolsey going through the pit, so he'll be taking his drive-through now. No, he's actually in the pit, so maybe not. These guys are all nice and close together, just in the background there, behind Grimmy, who's pulled out a 2-second lead. We should now have DRS, although I didn't see it say we do. We should. So we're just on board with Joseph, who should, if DRS has been activated without me noticing, get DRS. He will get DRS, so it has been activated without my noticing it. Probably due to all the penalties at the start of the last lap. As that under DRS is Joseph passed and Battlesy Mini as well. No, there was a bit of contact there between the 2 of them. I've just seen a bit of flying wing. I'm not really sure what happened as Ryan picks up our first 3-second penalty. And Mr. JC looks to be taking his second drive-through. So, we'll have a look at that, and Wolsey does appear to still have his drive-through, so was he just going to the pits again? So we've still got a drive-through to be taken, and that's Wolsey, so he needs to get that out of the way. Grimmy's also got 3 seconds as well. So that's not going to help him, not with Joseph chasing him down. Gap's come right down now to Joseph. It's less than half a second gap as he does set the fastest lap, and he's looking like thinking about a move as Wolsey's now just coming back out of the pits, and he's made that move on the DRS, so that is Joseph up into P1. Hound is now in the pits as well, so maybe he did take a little bit of wing damage in that little bit of contact we saw then. So Grimm is staying close, but he's still got that penalty as well. And we have a yellow flag in sector 2. That may just be a slow moving car. That is Error that was moving slow there. But he doesn't appear to have any damage, so maybe he just had a bit of a spin or something. As Battlesy Minis right on the back of Grimmy now, and we've just lost Error. See if we can just pick that up. It looks like it's part way through. And that is a full course safety car as well. That is part way through the S's. He's there just on the left hand side as we're on board with Connor. So a couple of these guys just jumping into the pits now. So that's Blumchon, Lewis and RP Lyer all into the pits. All going for fresh tyres early. And RP Lyer's gone for the hards. Lewis and Connor have gone for the mediums, and Blumchon's gone for the set of softs. Jump back on board with the leader, Joseph there, who is sitting behind the safety car. Just waiting for people to catch up again now, which will be Connor, because Wolsey is quite far back. He's actually been lapped already, and he's in and amongst the pack there as he finally overtakes the position where Hera crashed. So, not a lot we can really say why the safety car's out, because there's not a lot going on, but when it's released there is a few guys on fresh tyres that might start making moves. To our second lap, but Connor is just catching up on the straight there, so this should be the lap where the safety car now comes back in again. Hopefully we can get back racing. hopefully we should get the warning that safety cars coming in very, very shortly. Should be other end of the S's here maybe. As that is safety car in. So down to Joseph now just to back everybody up for the restart and choose his point when he's going to get away, try and leave everyone behind, which he's not yet. He's just holding everyone up, holding them up. Now he's going. Don't think he's quite got the jump he wanted. As Bulls is now in the pit, so he's a full lap behind everyone now. There's a couple of moves being made here at the back as Connor's overtaken Mr. JC. Marky lies down a place here to Ryan. Trying to see who's making moves and catch them. And there's now Elite Hound making a move on Connor. As they were almost side by side there. Still plenty more racing to go as well. Mr. Jason now picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Mini up from the back into P3 already. We're only 8 laps in. So the leaders are starting to just pull away a little bit here. See if there's going to be any moves into this first turn. Doesn't look like there will be. I don't think they're going to be close enough. But you've got a pair of Ferraris there sandwiching the Mercedes. Joseph's just pulling away, but he's going to have to pit soon off those soft tyres. Because those soft tyres won't go for a long way around here. It's a very, very hot circuit, and hot circuits tend to have a tendency to wear out your tyres a lot faster. RP Liar just jumping on with there, just trying to see what he was about to do. He's very, very close to making a move. As well, which this is a awful angle to try and watch it from, so just jump on board with him, as he has actually made that move, but we didn't see it because of the terrible angle the game gave me. Should possibly get DRS. There we go, DRS has now been enabled. It won't be active until the start finish line, so there won't be DRS on this lap. So if Connor's going to make this move, he's going to have to do it under his own steam, and he is. As RP Lie's doing exactly the same thing as well on those hard tyres on Ryan. Ryan's not having any of it. He's trying to defend too wide around turns 1, 2 and 3 there. I think that's move done for RP Lie. Again, Ryan's coming back at him. This is great battling from these two. Giving each other plenty of room as well. Really, really good driving. It's easy to make a little mistake and crash into each other here. They're literally side by side, and they have been for most of this lap. As RP Lie is now backed out slightly there. Waits for the DRS so we can have another run. And they've both now got elite hound catching them, as well as he picks up a 3-second penalty, as I mentioned him. Let's just have a jump on with Z-Mini here, and he's going to have DRS as well, so see if he can make a move on Grimmy here, which it looks like he's going to, because that is a huge overspeed on the soft tyres. So that is move done. And even Blumchum thinks about a move there as well. Lewis has just made a move on A. Riley, and Hound's just put a move on Connor as well. But they are again, they're almost side by side here. Hound holds that position, but they are nose to tail. Ooh, a little bit of a shove there from Connor on Hound. Doesn't look like anyone took any damage, and they keep going. As Connor now picks up a 3-second penalty. We saw that, a bit of a corner cut there. Ooh, it looked like the tail was about to step out on Connor then as well. If it was, he caught it quite well and quite quick, as the Hound's now looking at Ryan, I think. Ooh, he did go for a move, but had to back out of it. There was again just a little bit of contact with Connor, as Blumchum's now into the lead, because Joseph and Z-Mini have both been hitted. They're both put on the medium tyres. So this promotes some of these guys up. So let's see who has and hasn't made their stop yet. So A. Riley is the only person not to have stopped, and Grimmy as well. I almost missed him because it was penalty. Penalties flying about, but they're only track limit penalties, so just 3 and 6 seconds so far for some of these guys. As this battle continues between these three, as Connor's just picked up another 3-second penalty as he tried to dive up the inside there. That's not helped his race at all. As Lewis is out, there he is, just on the right side of the drivers as they come down. You can see he's lost in the S's. So that is again another full course safety car. So how many of these guys are going to take this opportunity for a quick pit stop? Because the leaders are coming around now. So that is Blumchum in. Grimmy chooses to stay out. A. Riley is in. Hoppy Lai stays out, but he's now on the hard tyres. So this will benefit him a little. Ryan's in. Connor stayed out. Hound is in. Joseph's staying out. Z-Mini's staying out. They've just changed tyres anyway. See what Mr. JC does. As Wolsey gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. And he is 2 laps down, so that is Mr. JC staying out as well. So Wolsey's having a real disaster here today. So we'll stay on board with Grimmy as he's just following the safety car around. So we're a third of the way there now, and this is our second safety car. And it's just been unfortunate that guys have had accidents. As Hound picks up a 3-second time penalty whilst under safety car. And it also looks like, yeah, he must have just been off track because Mr. JC swapped places with him as well. As now Mr. JC picks up 3-second time penalty. So we will have at least another lap of safety car. So I think these guys will be able to catch up just about by the end of sector 2. as Mr. JC now pits, so that could actually delay the safety car another lap while we wait for him to catch up. He's gone for a fresh set of mediums. So there's 4 guys out there on fresh tyres. Just A. Riley, Ryan both on soft, Elite Hound on hard, and Mr. JC on the mediums. That is Mr. JC just about catching the back of the pack there on the track map, so hopefully the safety car should come in now. It is, the safety car is in this lap, so that pit stop didn't actually delay the safety car at all, which is good. It means we'll have an extra lap of racing. You know what, when I was talking about people on new tyres, I completely missed Blumchum there as well. Although Joseph and Battlesea Mini are only 1 lap on their tyres, so they're pretty fresh as well. Because those two had pitted just before the safety car came out. And Remy gets his back on the way then. But that looks like RP Line might go for a move here, because he's got a really good run on Grimmy here, and he is closing slowly. Go side by side now. It's all going to come down to braking into turn 1. So RP Light has taken the lead, and there was contact there between Grimmy and Connor. Just put Connor around. So he looks like he was in the wall. I'm not sure if he took any damage though. No, doesn't look like he took any damage. It was just a spin, but it was unfortunate. It's the last thing you want when you're racing, is to have a little bit of contact that spins you around. So as it stands, we've actually got 2 Ferraris sitting on the podium. However, Grimmy does have a penalty, so he can drop off. And he has got to make a stop soon. Because I don't think these tyres are going to last forever. It's Ryan now picks up 3-second time penalty as well. Just staying nice and tight to each other as RP Light's just trying to sneak away from Grimmy and Blumchum. He does have just over a second now, which means when we get the DRS activated on the next lap, if he can pull out a little bit more, that would put Grimmy outside of his DRS, which is exactly what RP Light will want. Right now, Grimmy is also talking with his own teammate as well, by the looks of it. No team orders happening here. Otherwise, that Ferrari of Blumchum would have been released by now on the fresh tyres. Although it is a little confusing having 2 Ferraris with the same car number. RP hasn't managed to pull out any more of a lead here just yet. It's round about 9/10. He's got to find at least another 10th and a half to even have a chance of keeping Grimmy out of his DRS. As I said, on the plus side for him, Grimmy will have to stop soon, and he is holding everyone else up. DRS is now enabled. Won't go active yet because it just wants to stop finish line. So there's no activation zone now until sector 2, which is a bizarre place because it's halfway down the S's that no one likes. Blumchum there making a pass on his Ferrari teammate. Grimmy makes that easy for him. So he has finally released Blumchum there to go and chase down RP Line on the faster compound tyre. Joseph's now trying to pass Grimmy. I think Grimm is just holding him up now. Maybe he'll just help his teammate out here by just keeping Joseph at bay a little longer while he's on these worn tyres. Let's see what else is happening around the field. Mr. JC is chasing down Elite Hound there. A Riley and Ryan are trying to stay on the back of Joseph as well. Ryan picks up a 3-second penalty. See Minnie's trying to get involved there as well. They're all trying to have a bit of this action. There's a DRS train running from our leader all the way down to P7. These guys are really, really close together, as it looks like Ryan's just made a move on Joseph as well. So that's really not going to help Joseph try and catch up to those podium positions. Joseph's having none of it because he is going back at him now. It looks like A. Riley thought about a move as well, as they are going too wide around turns 1, 2 and 3. As Mr. JC now gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. And it appears he's not really moving either. Himself nor Elite Hound there seem to be moving for a second. Elite Hound has no damage, and it doesn't appear that Mr. JC does either. Back to the front. So Blomstrom's brought down that gap now to 6/10 to RP Live, so he is catching very, very quickly on these fresher tyres. The question is, can he go to the end on them? It's a long way to go. He'd be having to look at maybe 22 laps on them. Grimm is on 17 now, so it may be completely possible to put the extra 5 laps on them. Is he going to stop and try and get the soft and go for fastest lap near the end? If he does, he needs to get this move done quick and then make his move, as Grimmy is now into the pits. 18 lap old mediums, so we enter lap 19. And he has moved on to the soft compound tyres, so he may have to stop again on those. In fact, I think it's very, very likely he's going to have to stop again. With 18 laps to go, he'll probably put 8 or 9 on them and then swap out again for another set of tyres. That is Ryan now falling down the order because he wasn't moving as he came out of turn 3 by the looks of it. I'm not sure what happened there with him, but his tyres are still too hot, and that is Ryan now out of the race. It looks like his tyres were too hot and his car just span around and just hit the wall. There's nothing he could have done there. As Connor and Woolsey there at the back go past him. But there is no safety car, so these guys are still racing up front. Blomstrom about to get DRS and RP Lai, who has no ERS. Neither of them do. So it's entirely DRS based. This made as Woolsey picks up 3 seconds. That was close. He almost made the move then. Maybe the next lap he'll go for it. He's got A. Riley as well right behind him on the soft compound tyres that's going to be trying to make the move now. He thought about it, but he backed out of that one. There's never going to be the room there for it. His horse is now in the pits. As that is Blomstrom in the wall, and he's lost a wing. So we're now down to a 2-horse race at the front between A. Riley and RP Lai, the former teammates at Ferrari from last season. As Mr. JC picks up another 3-second time penalty. Let's see how big his penalties are up to. We're up to 14 seconds. If he continues at this rate, he could be disqualified before the end of the race. I believe the limit is around 28 seconds, I think. As Hound is now past Blomstrom, so is Mr. JC, because as we know, Blomstrom's got no wins, so he will hit. Likely for a set of mediums to the end now. Yeah, that is him in, so we'll see what tyres he puts on, whilst keeping an eye on the times of the other guys as well. It's just top 4 really battling for position now, with Hound 13 seconds behind them, as that is a set of softs that he's gone on to. I'm surprised by that. I would have thought if he'd been on the mediums all along he would have gone hards, if not another set of mediums. Now he means he's going to have to pit again, and he wouldn't have really wanted that. Oh, this is a great view of the battle that's going on between these two former teammates from last season. As A. Riley's got a really good run on RP line here. I don't think he's going to manage it this time. No, he's going to have to back out there, but maybe go again coming out of the last turn on the run down to turn 1. DRS there is very, very strong. And RP Light doesn't really have to fight this, because A. Riley is going to have to pit again. There's no real reason to fight this move that's going to happen. As that is the move done, and RP Light tucks in behind. Because the thing is, RP Light battles really not with A. Riley, because he's got 8 laps on those soft tyres he's going to have to come into for another set of tyres, which is going to cost him around 20 seconds or so, and he probably won't be able to make all that time back up. And I think that was a purple sector there from A. Riley as well. So he could be going for fastest lap provisionally here, as he's already pulled out 1.2 seconds on RP Light, as RP Light's gone. He's crashed. Let's see if we can catch this as Hound comes round. He's dropped it in the S's, and that is again another full course safety car. That is our 3rd safety car of the race. Yep, there's his car on the right hand side. Looks like his tail stepped out and he's ended up in the wall. So again the S's have claimed another victim tonight. And that's really unfortunate, because he was on for such a good run. He was actually in the lead of the race. Even with A. Riley on his soft compound tyres in the lead, he would have had to stop again. In fact, both A. Riley and Joseph are both on soft, and Z-Mini's gone on the mediums. I'm not sure those softs are going to go all the way. As Hound gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as he comes in, and he's gone on to the mediums. That's exactly the compound I would have expected people to go on to. I'm surprised at seeing people go on to the softs with 13 laps still to go. That's Grimmy on the softs as well, Mr. JC on the mediums. Blumsham's only just stopped for his tyres, so his tyres are a lap old. But he has been held up quite severely by his own Delta to try and catch up to this safety car. He's right down in P8 now, back behind his teammate. So once again it's going to be a little on the quiet side while the safety cars are, because there shouldn't really be anything to talk about. As long as these guys maintain their gaps and all the usual good stuff like that. Paul Walls is so far behind now, but if he stays on track, he hangs on for a point or two here. So as that is Hound into the pits again. Is he thinking change back onto the softs? And that looks like another change for a set of mediums. I could be clearing a penalty. he is. He's changing back for another set of mediums and taking a 5-second penalty off of his time. He's not really lost anything. He's going to come out in the same place because Wolsey is still going to be down there in P9 and behind him by about a lap and a half at this point. So we will just be waiting for Hound to catch back up, and if he's really, really quick, we might even get back underway this lap with 12 laps remaining. So we've got a third of the race to go. So that will be safety car in then. I looked away again, I completely missed it, but I can tell that from A. Riley's position he's backing everyone up, so that is safety car coming in. So when is he going to go? He's gone now. So has he got enough of a leap there on Joseph? As Connor's now pitted. Strange time to pit from Connor there, but that's promoted Hound into P7 now. As Blumtron puts a move on Mr. JC as well. There, look at Joseph trying to find a way past there. As we've now got a virtual safety car. What has happened there? Is that Connor? No, we've lost Wolsey. That is Wolsey at the S's. We can't see it, but it was around about there where Arthur Lai also lost his car. So we're down to 8 then. I'm just waiting for Connor to catch up a little. But we are virtual safety cars, so let's see, can everyone avoid a drive-through penalty this time out? To go. It's anyone's game at this point. Can A. Riley or Joseph hold on, or can Battlesea Mini sneak up into the top spot? Mr. JC and Elite Hound in there as well. As Mr. JC now picks another drive-through. It is not his day at all. That's 3 drive-throughs he's had in this race. Race starting both VSCs. Interestingly, Grimmy there, who will be holding up Blumtron a little bit, is with a penalty to the 3 ahead of him. As Norland's DRS is now enabled as well. As Mr. JC has taken his drive-through penalty now and just got it out of the way. Should just about come out ahead of Connor still as well, if he's lucky. nice and calm, just following each other at the minute. None of these top 4 are wanting to make moves. They're just not close enough yet. Now, there will be an opportunity. They go through the DRS protection zone there. Just not enough time for them to make anything happen. So we're set with Joseph now. Joseph's going to be able to have a run in the DRS here on A. Riley. And Z Mini appears to be out of his DRS window as well. This may allow Grimmy a move on Z Mini here. We'll stand wood with this one and see what Joseph does. I'm not sure he's going to get close enough. He is. And I think that's it, as Grimmy does the same thing. So both moves done. Z Mini there in P4, then he will pick up P3 with Grimmy having a penalty. He's just got to stay inside that penalty window, but those softs will be really quick about now. But they'll drop off in the next handful of laps. They'll start to get slower and the mediums will come into their own. So Z Mini ain't out of this race for P1 yet. Oh, just a little bit of step out there from Grimmy. Very well to catch the tail there, because it looked like it was going to have a little step out on him. And it's easily done around the S's in Mexico. It's not my favourite track with S's involved. But he is now outside the DRS, and A. Riley is in the DRS. Joseph, so could this be another positional spot, or is he not going to make it? I don't think he is. No, he's not. They're going into the braking zone here. Maybe if you can hold on and get a little bit closer, we'll be able to have a run on the next lap. The more these guys up front battle, the easier this is going to be for Z Mini. Because although he's sitting back there, he's also on the mediums that are going to last a bit longer than these soft compound tyres that will be starting to go off. 5, 6, 7 laps is around about where they'll just start to lose a bit of their speed and grip. And then of course the big question is, are we going to have any more people to get taken out by the S's as Hound gets a 3-second penalty? Closest on track now, really. Grimmy's having a look at A. Riley, but also Blumcham having a look at Z Mini. I'm sure he's going to get close enough here. They're going to start braking. He just didn't manage to get close enough. He is closer. Just not close enough. Maybe I'll have a run next lap. There's 6 more laps to do it, so there's no rush. Softs will start to go off soon for these guys. He's starting to lose ground seriously now. He's down 3, almost 3.5 seconds on P3, which is enough for, I think, Grimmy's penalty as it stands. That's not what I want. It is, so Grimmy only has 3 seconds. Going for a move there. No, he's changed his mind. He thought about it. He had a little look. was close, but he didn't feel like he was close enough for the move. You weren't very far away. If you can hang on to the back of A. Riley around here, he could overgo next lap. Does look like he's staying good and close to the back of A. Riley here. He's doing well, he's not picking up any more penalties yet. The last thing he wants now is another penalty. He has managed 3.5 seconds again on Z-Mini. Z-Mini sort of closes up a little bit and then pulls away again, Grimmy does. As Connor looks like he's just made a move on Mr. JC. Let's drop back to Blundstrom there because I think he's about to make a move. He is, he's looking at Z-Mini. They are side by side and he is ahead now. So that is move done for Blundstrom. That is actually going to be P3 for his teammate with a penalty. Well, not quite, but if he can catch up. He only needs about another second. But he's also got 10 laps on those tyres as well. So how long before those soft tyres will start just falling off? There's still another 4 laps to go. You can lose a lot of time on tyres that are going off the edge of a cliff. He doesn't seem to be pulling away too far from Z-Mini, but he is still closing the gap to Grimmy as well. Close now, so let's have a look at Grimmy. He's having another look at A. Riley for the move here. Is he going to make it? Oh, he has, but is he going to be able to hold it? No, they were side by side then, but A. Riley's come back out on top of that one. Z-Mini's not managed to make anything happen there either. To take P3 here, he's going to have to push a little harder. He's going to have to take that move away from Blundstrom, take his position. He doesn't want those soft tyres to start holding him up now. Because if he overtakes Blundstrom, he will be within Grimm's penalty window, which means there is still a chance that, and there he goes for the move, he will still be able to take P3. Somehow Blundstrom kept hold of that position, surprisingly, which has actually made it so he's now a 4-second gap to Grimmy. And there's only a couple of laps to go. 3. As Joseph's left. That was a terrible time to leave Joseph. A. Riley is still ahead of Grimmy, as Z-Mini has made that move on Blundstrom as well. And this gap between A. Riley and Joseph is going to come down because Joseph has just left the session for some reason. May have just been a connection error, but this is not what he would have wanted. Now that 2.5 second gap he had is just being cut into shreds. There you go, they are close enough, so there will be DRS, and that should be A. Riley into the lead of the race. As Blundstrom now picks up 3 seconds for a multiple warning, so that's not going to help him. Now it's now Grimmy ahead as well, as Joseph's car pits. And goes for a set of mediums with a lap to go. That is an odd choice for the AI to do, but we still have another lap to go, so anything can happen here. But as it stands, that is Z Mini into P2. I think if he can squeeze that gap a little bit more to Grimmy, he only needs another 10th and a half. Close to that 3-second window there. Z Mini is getting within it. As Connor now picks up another penalty, so he's up to 9 seconds. Mr. JC and Elite Hound are both up to 12 apiece. The important ones here is Blumchum and Grimmy, who have got 3 seconds each. Blumchum's not going to lose anything as it stands, but Grimmy can. Grimmy can lose his position now because his tyres must be starting to go off. So now Z Mini is within 2.5 seconds of him. It could be a P3 and P4 here for the Ferrari guys. However, saying that, Grimmy is just about pulling out a bit of a lead again. Right in the back of A Riley, which is giving him DRS to help him along. That is just helping him along. He may still survive his 3-second penalty with his P2 intact here. So close between these top guys here. Again, Z Mini's brought it down to 2.7. But once again, Grimm's gonna have DRS. Oh, as he picks up a 3-second penalty, he has just cost himself that position now. For sure he's cost himself that position, because all Z Mini needs to do now is finish. I don't think he's lost out to Blumchum, but he's definitely lost out to Z Mini. That is unfortunate, but we will just jump on board with A Riley as he finishes the race. And then Grimmy follows him through, but he'll lose positions. So that's battle Z Mini into P2. Grimmy will finish P3. And Blumchum P4. Elite Hound is going to come through in P5, but will likely lose that position to Joseph, who, although he hasn't been here for a couple of laps, may still get the points anyway. So that is Joseph P5, Elite Hound P6, Mr. JC will be P7, and Connor will be P8 when they two finish. And that will be everyone who finished, because Wolsey, RP, Lai, Ryan, Lewis and Error all DNF. That is us wrapped up for tonight's racing with LNR. So, driver of the day goes to Z Mini, who picked up quite a lot of places. He started at the back and he finished P2 on the podium, so that was a great drive there from Z Mini. We'll just let the guys have their moment on the podium, enjoy themselves. And then we will, well, I was going to say round out the top 10, but unfortunately it was only 8 finishers, so we'll round out the top 8 finishers. And I think then we'll be done for the night. So there are all the podium sitters then. So that was A Riley on the top step with Z Mini and P2. Grimmy, who unfortunately lost his P2 and ended up P3 because of penalties. Blumchum P4, Joseph P5, who does hold the fastest lap. Elite Hound P6, Mr. JC P9, Connor P8, Why did I say Mr. JCP Knight? P7, it's because of the 9 in his name. Connor P8, and then Wolsey RP Live, Ryan Lewis Error, all DNF'd. So that is it from us here at LNR for this week. We shall be back again next week. Where are we going to be? Because I need to have a look. I can't remember where we are on the calendar. We are going to be at Hungary next week. So thank you everyone for joining, and I shall be back here on comms next week at Hungary.